Kindly, kindly introduce yourself.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Saurabh Sharma. I've been
Hmm.
born and brought up in Lucknow. I've completed my graduation, that is BA LLB honors from Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia National Law University, Lucknow, and my post-graduation, that is LLM from Kurukshetra University, Haryana. Currently, I'm working as law officer in the state of Sundargarh in Odisha in Coal India Limited. I have an interest in research. I have worked on a book in international law, and I've done research and research paper published in environmental law. I also have training in Indian classical music from Indra Kala Sangeet Vishwavidyalaya, Khairagarh in tabla, and in Western classical music from Trinity College London in piano. I also have interest in vocals and Urdu poetry.
Very diverse personality, huh?
Thank you.
Okay. You are working already in Coal India. So why you want to be in SFIO?
Ma'am, with the kind of experience and my legal acumen, Coal India certainly is a very good body, and there's tremendous things that I've learned here. However, it would be better if I move up the ladder in my career goal, and so that I'm able to utilize my legal acumen in a better decision making abilities.
Okay. Can you provide an overview of your legal knowledge and background? How does you prepare for you in a role of SFIO?
Ma'am, can you kindly repeat the question, ma'am?
Can you provide me an overview of your legal background and the experience, and how you will be using that experience in SFIO?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in here, precisely my job can be categorized in three work. Firstly is the hardcore litigation work, in which the law officer acts as a bridge between the management and the courts. So everything by petition, suits, parawise, everything we do it. Secondly, the legal advisory. We give legal advisory on many things, such as vetting of documents, compliance of multiple laws, and thirdly is miscellaneous administrative works, the compilation of reports, and many things. So overall, the SFIO is also a kind of body which, after all, deals with the investigation and compliances. Here, I am also involved in certain cases in inquiry matters. So, so that is the with the legal with my BA LLB honors at LLM degree, coupled with the experience that I've had in Coal India. Certainly, more importantly, ma'am, I've worked in ground level. So since I've worked in ground level, it will be very helpful for me to be an officer who knows the compliances of different statutes.
Okay, and if I ask you, what are the primary laws regulating or governing corporate frauds in India?
Primarily, some of the important laws include the SEBI listing agreements, the Companies Act, some of the corporate provisions of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, and of course the Contracts Act, Commercial Courts Act, etc.
And one major act you are missing.
Corporate frauds. Ma'am, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and the Prevention of Corruption Act.
Yeah. There recently, last year, there was a case between Coal India and CCI. Do you have what? Kindly give me the facts and what was stated.
Ma'am, the primary question before the Honorable Supreme Court was whether the Competition Commission, the Competition Act of 2002 is applicable on Coal India Limited. And of course, the Competition Commission of India was opposing our petition. Unfortunately, we lost the case. The Honorable Supreme Court said that the Competition Commission Act is applicable on Coal India because the only exception is provided under Section 54 of the Act, and there is no such exception in the name of Coal India in the Act, number one. Number two, the Narsimham Committee, the Raghavan Committee mentioned that state monopolies are not in the interest of a laissez-faire economy, and therefore it's important that monopolies such as Coal India, such a mammoth organization which regulates the price and demand and supply of coal, it should not be completely in one case. Thirdly, the Essential Commodities Act, coal is not in the essential commodities, the list of essential commodities anymore. Fourthly, the Nationalization Act, through which the coal activities, when the Coal India was nationalized, that is also not anymore in the ninth schedule. In this background, the court said that it's important that we have a free flow of economy, and therefore the Competition Act is applicable on Coal India.
Okay. Are you aware with the typical fraud investigation, how it is conducted by SFIO? What's the process?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, primarily the central government, on the report of the tribunal or the inspector, or in public interest, or the company itself, if a special majority, it takes up the matter and then refers the matter to the Serious Fraud Investigation Office. The Serious Fraud Investigation Office takes the cognizance of the offense, appoints an inspector, and the investigation is done. Once the investigation is done, the SFIO, during the investigation, the SFIO also has powers such as search and seizure, the arrest provisions also for the accused person. And once the investigation is done, the report filed by SFIO to the special court, and second to the central government. The central government report is the special court report is like a police report under Section 173 CRPC, and one report is given to the central government. So central government then refers again the matter to SFIO whether to take any further decision or not.
Okay. Recently, new criminal laws has been enforced. Can you tell me that what was the need of the time? Why these three new criminal laws were implemented?
Ma'am, some of the important reasons for the change were, firstly, the around 140, 190 years of colonial laws, they were made in a time period of revolt. If you remember, ma'am, it was around 1857 revolt. And therefore, the object of those making those laws was to control the law and order and punish the Indian citizenry. However, with the new laws, the object has been changed from punishment to justice, number one. Number two, many old laws had become OTOs. They were not in line with the time. For example, adultery, sedition, attempt to commit suicide. They were they were no more applicable. Number three, there are new emerging trends. For example, the use of technology in multiple investigations, the organized crimes, mob lynching, petty organized crimes, question paper leak, ATM theft, etc. And fourthly is, ma'am, a victim rehabilitation scheme, a victim-centric scheme have been introduced in the new laws. So overall, the entire purpose was to change from punishment to justice.
Okay. And if we talk about the FIR, what are the new changes which are made under FIR in Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. In the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha, the three big reforms that have been made in the FIR, first is there can now be eFIR as well, electronic FIR. So the Ministry of Home Affairs has a portal now. So eFIR can easily be registered, number one. Number two is there's a concept of zero FIR, in which on the cognizable of on the commission of a cognizable offense, if a person goes to the police station and says that so and so offense has happened, then the police has to mandatorily register the FIR, even if it does not have the geographical jurisdiction. Later on, it can refer the matter to the concerned police station, which has the geographical jurisdiction. And the third is the free copy of the FIR, which has to be mandatorily given to the person giving the information, to the informant.
When we talk about eFIR, it was not there in CRPC. Or there is some guidelines which were given by the Supreme Court, by the ministry.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, previously the CRPC did not contain any provision with respect to electronic FIR. However, the Ministry of Home Affairs had the respective state governments, along with the Central Ministry of Home Affairs, they're given certain portals in which eFIR police complaints could be made. However, now we have a statutory provision in which for the entire nation we have one provision wherein electronically a complaint can be registered.
Okay. Suppose a person called to the police station and giving the information. Okay. That information will be registered as FIR or not?
Ma'am, that information has to be with respect to the commission of a
It
cognizable
is a
offense.
cognizable offense. The person is giving information about a cognizable offense. Now, what does BNSS say?
Ma'am, the BNSS says that whenever the police receives the information with respect to the commission of a cognizable offense, then the police has to mandatorily register the FIR. In certain cases, however, in the offences provided, a preliminary inquiry can be done by the police station before the registration of such FIR.
It is not written that within 72 hours or within 3 days, the person who is giving the information should come and sign that information, and then it will be registered as FIR.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That
So
provision.
how it will
Yes,
become an EFIR?
ma'am, I'm not really sure about this provision.
Okay. Now, one thing more. If that person doesn't appear within 3 days, then what will happen to that information?
Ma'am, I'm not really sure about this provision.
Okay, fine. Imagine a scenario where a conviction takes place. Okay, conviction takes place, and the convicted person appeals to the higher authority, and he said कि I want to invoke section 374 of CRPC. ठीक है? In which section appeal is given in BNSS?
Ma'am, exact provision I'm not really.
It is 415. Now,
Yes,
tell me one thing: कि appellant will be invoking appeal under section 374 of CRPC or under section 415 of BNSS, which will be applicable. And he is filing the appeal on 10th July 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
Conviction is done under CRPC, IPC, and all the old criminal laws.
Ma'am, the appeal will be filed under the new laws now,
Why
because the
so?
cutoff date was 1st of July. And after 1st of July, the procedural laws would be dealt by the new laws. However, the substantive laws would be dealt on the date of the cutoff. So, for example, if an offence has been committed before 1st of July, then certainly it will be dealt by the IPC. However, if it has been committed after 1st of July, it will be committed by BNSS. However, as far as the procedural law is concerned, if the offence is now, if the appeal is being registered today, it would be registered under the BNSS.
BNSS. In which case it has been said?
Ma'am, I'm not sure about the case.
Okay. You are working with Coal India. There must be litigation regarding land acquisition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How you handle the land acquisition cases?
Ma'am, primarily the land acquisition cases in our Coal India revolve around two acts. First is the right to fair and transparent compensation and rehabilitation and resettlement act of 2013, and second is the coal bearing act. Now, most of our matters revolve around the compensation, the amount of compensation, the methodology between us and the villagers with respect to the compensation, the correct person who is the correct claimant of the compensation, then land acquisition. Many times we have given the compensation but not achieved possession. So in the state of Odisha, ma'am, we especially there are two bodies for that. First is the Claims Commission that has been constituted by the Honorable Supreme Court in Mathia Zoram versus Union of India. It deals with the claims of the land losers, the land houses. And second is the Coal Tribunal that is formulated under the Coal Bearing Areas Act 1987 that deals with the rehabilitation and resettlement, whether that has been done or not. So since land is a state subject, so we work in tandem with the state government and take acquisition, give whatever rehabilitation and resettlement benefits have to be given under the Odisha RNR policy 2006. Then we have to take possession also, give compensation through the state government. This is how we deal it. The matters all in all courts, right from lower court up to even Supreme Court, land matters are there. So predominantly here, the place where I am working it, approximately 70% of cases are land-dominated cases.
Okay. You have issued a paper on environmental law, right?
Environmental law, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell me something, what are the key environmental regulations that coal mining companies in India must compile with?
Ma'am, some of the important laws include the Environment Protection Act, the Water Pollution Prevention of Pollution Act, the Air Prevention of Pollution Act, the Noise Act of 2002. This because we do a lot of drilling and blasting as well.
One more
Pollution
act which is very important. Forest?
Yes, ma'am. Forest, yes, ma'am. Forest conservation, yes, ma'am. Forest conservation, of course. We have the Forest Conservation Act. Land ousties have a direct bearing on that. Then, ma'am, two important acts which also have bearing on environment is the Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act of 1957, which deals with mining as such, and the Coal Bearing Areas Act of 1957. We also have the we also have a lot of regulations with respect to environment, mine closure, which also have a direct bearing with environment. And apart from this, ma'am, we have a specialized department for environment and a specialized department for CSR as well. So a lot of money we spend through CSR also. That also goes in the environment.
Under which section of Companies Act CSR is given?
Ma'am, it's given under 135 section.
And what are the monetary limits of CSR?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, under section 135, any company with a profit of 5 crores, net worth of 500 crores, or turnover of 1,000 crores has to spend 2% of the average profit in the 3 preceding financial years in one of the activities provided in Schedule 7 of the Act, which relate to environment, water, Prime Minister National Relief Fund, Disaster Fund, etc. And if a company has a CSR liability of greater than 50 lakh rupees, then it also has to constitute a CSR board level committee.
Okay, how does the if we talk about mining, if we talk about the coal mining, how does it how will you ensure that there is a compliance and compliance with the safety regulation in coal mining operations?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act of 1957, the Mineral Conceptual Rules of 1960, as well as OTMPS, the Odisha Theft and Prevention of Theft and Smuggling of Minerals Act of 2007. These are the 3 important laws through which we regulate the safety. There's one body, ma'am, under the Ministry of Mines, Director General of Mine Safety, DGMS. So DGMS has multiple regulations through which the safety standards are
regulations and the guidelines. Right?
Yes, ma'am. We also have a safety department specifically for that, which conducts safety regulations.
And how you control the illegal mining?
Ma'am, illegal mining, generally illegal mining is done, in most cases illegal is mining, if at all is done, it is done after the mine closure. So whenever a particular company is mining a particular place, however, the mine closure has not been correctly done, then there are certain patches of minor coal done left. And in that case, the coal mafias and coal thieves, they employ local people and then do the illegal mining. So then certainly, ma'am, in Coal India, this does not happen because we have 24/7 regulation, surveillance as well. In fact, we have boom barriers, which are the automated gates from in and out of the mines. So no truck today can leave the mine or come inside the mine without the digital token. So here, illegal mining is almost negligible.
Okay, tell me 4 places of coal mining in Jharkhand.
Ma'am, Dhanbad, Jharia, ma'am, I can only recall 2, ma'am.
Okay. You are having training in musical, vocals, and poetry, right?
Ji, ma'am.
Can you tell me one of your own written poetry?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Ma'am, I have an interest in Urdu, so I generally
Yeah,
write in
sure,
Urdu.
you can do that.
A small couplet, ma'am, which I can recite is सच कहते हैं लोग मोहब्बत बार बार होती नहीं तूने ढूंढा तुझे मिला नहीं मैंने तेरे बाद ढूंढा ही नहीं
Okay. And it is related to?
Ma'am, the theme here is that there is a lover who the other person he or she kept on looking for someone else, but the lover did not look for anyone else because he had in his mind that that love can only be happened once. So that's the theme behind this.
Tell me something. How will you handle the pressure and the tight deadlines? Particularly, we talk about the high stakes legal matters and fraud investigation, serious fraud investigation. How will you combat that thing?
Ma'am, I'm very lucky when I say because I here we have a lot of timelines because since Coal India is a mammoth organization, there are up till the CIL headquarters in Calcutta. So we have multiple timelines on many reports and multiple data. One, then the courts, of course, the compliances of multiple laws, even contempt cases, all of them we have timelines. And as far as ma'am work is concerned, I have I've learned here that many a times we have to work in very extreme pressures. Recently, we have had a strike and for almost 1 to 1.5 months. So even in very tense times, wherein security of the officers was at stake, we used to work very calmly and peacefully through the in the control rooms we used to work. So, ma'am, I've had good enough training till now, so I definitely be able to work in this field.
Okay, fine. देखिए सौरभ, आपका जो इंटरव्यू था, I will give you the feedback. It's really very good.
Yes.
थोड़ा सा ना, क्योंकि reason is that कि your mock is your interview is scheduled on 20th of coming month, right? There will be a lot of current affairs which has been happening between this time. Okay, वहां से मैं questions अभी put नहीं कर सकती हूँ. I don't know what will be the current affairs. So you have to go through with the current affairs. You have to read the question paper, newspaper daily.
जी.
Okay, because वहां से ये question पूछेंगे and झारखंड का थोड़ा अच्छे से पढ़ के जाना. It is really very important because you will be having the training and also discuss about your training because your questions will be framed only from the Coal India.
Ma'am, वैसे हम I am currently working in Odisha, state of Odisha, not Jharkhand.
Your training will be there in Jharkhand, and Jharkhand is very like a
Oh,
core
yes,
place
yes.
for coal. Okay.
Right.
So they will be asking. They will be asking questions from Odisha also, maybe from geographical terms,
Yes,
but they will be asking. Okay.
Yes.
What's your book name on international law?
Ma'am, the name is International Law. That's
International law
by
itself.
Professor Gurdeep Bari.
Huh?
By Professor Gurdeep Bari. I worked on that book as a
Okay,
research
you worked on that book. How was your experience?
Ma'am, it was wonderful. It was long back, but it was wonderful. In fact, I have studied all of the aspects of international law, including some of the Israel, Palestine, and Russia,
And
Ukraine.
they will be asking questions from there also.
In fact, I am willing if they ask me questions on international law and coal mining. And
reason behind UPSC is very much interested in international law. I was not aware that you have gone through with this book on international law, and I will be also putting that questions with the recent current affairs. Okay, to go through with the recent current affairs of international law. Okay, a number of treaties are going on, and they will be asking questions from there. They will be asking questions from the Coal India. Because reason is that I have also shared that thing. The two of the students which has been selected, they are not into that. They are not asking questions typically from law. They are asking questions from their native place or they're from the work profile. Okay, so they will be your target will be Coal India, XYZ everything, and you are very much aware of that. And secondly, your answer regarding appeal was correct. I will be sharing you the document of the judgment. because in that the cases are given, okay, from which this this order has been given, okay, and kindly go through with the FIR provision. And when
Yes, ma'am.
I was saying that if the person doesn't shows up within 3 days, so you have
Yeah.
to say, because there is no we can say there is no way forward which is given in BNSS. So you have to say that BNSS is silent on this, and maybe in future by some amendments or by with the judgment they will be adding something, some procedure.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so EFIR is not very much satisfying in BNSS. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Baki all good, and all the best.
Ma'am, I've one or two questions and a few
Yeah.
statements
Ask me,
also.
ask me.
One is, ma'am, my few things which because I also analyze myself. A few things that I've seen, the answers relatively, the length of my answers is relatively long, which I feel. Is it so?
No, I don't think so. It is to the point.
Okay.
See, answer
Okay.
must be, if it is, if you are taking too much time or if you are giving an answer in 5 minutes or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, it must be engaging. It shouldn't be boring. It must be engaging. Okay.
Okay.
That is the main thing. And your answers are very good. There is
Okay.
no issue with that.
Two more things, ma'am. One is I am not much aware about what do SFIO people actually do. So, for example,
Okay.
if they ask me, ki, bhai, what reforms will you bring? They will not. But I'm just saying, if they ask me,
Reform.
what will you bring reforms in SFIO? So it will be
Huh.
very tough to, because we only know how much law is, as you asked. So
Huh.
I explained that much we
Right.
know, book no. But
Huh.
apart from that, if they ask us what do we
They
do
will
in
be asking,
investigation?
see, they will be asking ki what are the functions of SFIO. You have given me the answer regarding the procedure. Okay, so it
Yes.
is there. And when we talk about the functions of SFIO and all, I will share you the document. You can go through that. It's not a big deal. Okay. ऐसा कुछ बहुत वो नहीं है. You can manage it. Don't worry. But there is one question ki if they say ki why you are switching from Coal India to SFIO, because both the organizations are very much well reputed,
Yes.
and you have to give a very kicky answer in that.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to work on that particular question because this question will be asked by them.
Okay. They will. Actually, with this question and then the gap year, if they may ask, so that I can tell what I was doing. Only thing
Gap
is,
year.
actually, I've never prepared for because I'm not very good in procedural law. In as much as people who prepare for judiciary and advocates, they are. So that is where I might get stuck, because as you also asked about procedural law, I'm not very good at. So if they ask me about substantive law, that's a good safe space. But
See,
most likely they will ask.
if you don't know the answer, just say sorry, sir. Okay. And if you are having a little bit idea and you can relate with your own field, ठीक है? Suppose इन्होंने कोई भी question
Yes.
पूछा, and if you can
जी,
connect that question, that answer with your field,
जी,
तो
right.
उनको अपने field में लेके आओ, ठीक है? जो आपका strong part है, ऐसा करते हैं लोग. अभी recently interviews होते हैं तो उनको they are the practicing advocates for Delhi Higher Judiciary. FIR, they are very much aware of it. Questioning of FIR. That time, questioning of FIR was into very much limelight, and they were working on that itself. So, panel was asking any question, they come towards FIR, questioning of FIR.
Okay.
They used to bring that person to the questioning of FIR. They got selected also.
Okay.
So, you can do that thing also. कि वो कुछ भी पूछे, उनको थोड़ा सा अपने एरिया में लेके आओ, जहां पे आप कंफर्टेबल.
Ma'am, in certain answers, I therefore, as you just rightly pointed out, I try to give my own example that that right now I am doing so and so thing.
It's very good.
So that, जी.
It's very good. See, अपना experience share करना है तो it's very good, ना? Because if they are asking from your experience, they are asking any question, so you are able to answer that question. Okay, so that is a very good thing. और अभी experience है तो it's very good, ना? Okay.
जी जी जी।
Anything else?
Thank you, ma'am.
What
Thank
you
you.
will be wearing?
Ma'am, अगर कुछ doubts हैं, ma'am, I'll be wearing a suit. I'll be wearing.
You will wearing a suit and
हाँ हाँ, I'll wear a
socks.
suit.
Socks.
Same color.
Which color?
The
Black
suit
or
is
white?
gray, so I'll wear black. No, black.
Black ना? हाँ, okay. That will be
हाँ,
okay because
proper formals,
हाँ,
full complete proper formals.
fine. हाँ, any query you can call me up. Anything. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And if there is any kind of important case which is coming across towards me, I will forward you that case. ना, just go through that particular case. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes, ma'am.
बस ये है कि मुझे एक बार मैसेज जरूर ड्रॉप कर देना कि मैम ये केस भेज दो, क्योंकि देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच आर गोइंग ऑन ना,
जी जी
तो मैं कई बार
जी
भूल
जी
जाती हूँ.
जी
ठीक है.
जी जी मैम, because
But
मेरा भी मैम, as I told you, I'll be in Ranchi, so the next 20 days before the interview are going to be very hectic for me, so I might not be able to see anything at all. मतलब बस शाम को थोड़ा बहुत समय निकाल कर
हाँ, नहीं उस टाइम पे आप जरूर देख
तो
लेना, क्योंकि
थोड़ा
इट
बहुत
इज
देखना है.
इम्पोर्टेंट. यू हैव टू गो थ्रू विद द
जी मैम,
न्यूज़पेपर जरूर
जी
पढ़ना.
जी जी
ठीक है.
जी मैम.
और
ओके
थोड़ा सा
ओके
झारखंड के बारे में अच्छे से पढ़ के चलना.
मैम, ये
झारखंड राज्य
ओलंपिक्स टाइप के, जीएस टाइप के सवाल भी पूछने की संभावना रहती है क्या? मतलब
नहीं
ऐसे इस समय, मतलब टाइम वो करने के लिए कि
नहीं नहीं
आपने
नहीं
देखा कि नहीं देखा?
नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है कि उनको
ओके
ये जो चीजें
ओके.
होती है ना, जो आपके इंटरव्यूज दिखाए जाते हैं यूट्यूब पे कि आप ये करो, आप वो
जी
करो,
जी जी जी
ऐसा
जी
होता
जी जी.
नहीं है. ठीक है. दे आर वेरी मच
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
पर्टिकुलर टू द पॉइंट. ठीक है.
जी 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 जी
एंड
जी
थोड़ा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अच्छे से देख लीजिएगा.
जी जी.
रिसेंट जो चीजें चल
बिल्कुल
रही हैं,
बिल्कुल.
एंड दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. और उस टाइम पे अगर कोई अपॉइंटमेंट वगैरह आपका हो रहा है, जो आई विल शेयर यू, मेरे को मैसेज ड्रॉप कर देना जो भी करंट होगा, आई विल शेयर यू. ओके.
जी मैम, जी मैम, जी मैम.
एनीथिंग एल्स?
नो मैम, that's it.
ओके देन, ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
ओके.
ma'am. Thank you.